What's going on, everyone? This is Comic Hysteria. Thank you for joining me on Comic Book Day. It is new Comic Book Day every single Wednesday, and so I'm showing up here with Thrift Store Batman. We're gonna brag about what we bought. We're also gonna tell you about why we bought it, and hopefully you guys picked up some of the same stuff too. So it was a really big week, but we all expected it too. Everybody knew what was happening with Spider-Man and with Red Goblin finally showing on up. They've been teasing us for couple of issues now, making it so I'm getting really excited about every single one, thinking I finally have the issue with the first appearance of Red Goblin, Spider-Man's new villain, his new arch nemesis that he's going to be fighting for years, and then they're making movies of it, and I got the first appearance. And yeah, no, it wasn't $7.95, it was $7.96 or $7.97. Finally, $7.98. But guess what? They also told everyone that after they made the order cutoff. So yeah, hopefully you showed up early. Hopefully your comic book dude hooked you on up. I got a couple of different covers myself. But yeah, it was fun. It wasn't like last week. Last week Power Rangers took everything over and no one had any idea what to expect in the morning when they got there. And now this week, we all knew. Spider-Man, one per customer. Get used to seeing that a lot too, because now that we're getting into these Action 1000s and all these other stuff, yeah, you're probably going to get a lot of these one per customer, one variant per customer, things like that, you know. So yeah, hit up a couple of different stores, sign up with a couple of different polls, and get all the different covers because you're obsessive and having to have everything. That's why we do this, because there's always something new, there's always something new. But hey, this week, you want to know what was new? Venom. Venom everywhere. Everything was Venom this week. And it was awesome. I'm a 90s kid. I love Venom. Venom, Carnage, all of it. The new movie coming out, it's going to be great. All this stuff with Spider-Man and Red Goblin is awesome. So, yeah, really stoked. And this was a really fun variant week. A couple of these, like the Thor variant week, I thought was kind of dumb. Anytime they do with Agent Shields, I think is really dumb too. But my personal opinion. Really like Venom. First up this week, Avengers No Surrender. This is 687, issue number 13. 3 more left until it's concluded, and they introduced 3 different characters. They're gonna kill off somebody, you know. So yeah, that should be exciting. The story's really good. This is the normal cover where everyone's busting out of Voyager's face. And then we also have this super good Venom 30th anniversary. You see the little 30th anniversary logo on these guys, wherever it is. Yeah, right up here. Tap Rat. 30th anniversary. There's a whole bunch of those throughout all the issues this week. But yeah, this one's really cool. I don't know what issue this was. If you've been reading comics for a while, you probably recognize it. I don't have the photographic memory to remember each specific issue. I just know that I've seen this image before, and it's really cool, so definitely picked up this guy right here. And keep reading No Surrender, too. It's really good. I like it. Also really good, New Mutants Dead Souls, number 2. The first issue was, I was excited to see it. Like I said, I'm a kid of the 90s. Strong Guy is rad. It's like the most 90s like guy that there is. He's like a gigantic muscle with a little head just to make it seem realistic. But yeah, he's cool. I always like New Mutants, and so this one's really good. Really enjoy the variant on this guy. Reminded me of Full Metal Alchemist when I first saw it. Like, it looks like Al getting pulled back into the whatever. I don't know. If you haven't seen it, you gotta check it out. And then be like, oh yeah, he's totally right. This looks like Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, can't wait to read New Mutants. Magic's a really cool character, too. Really like her. Next up, only got the 30th anniversary Venom cover. Originally, this was in my poll. This is Marvel 2-in-1, Thing and Human Torch. Last issue, they had hinted at getting everybody back in together, and they had introduced a couple of new costumes. And now this one, issue 5, they actually do have everybody back in there. Whole Fantastic Four, and they also have this dope-ass cover. The cool thing about this is, if you've been paying attention at all, Fantastic Four is getting a brand new series. Dan Slott's going to be writing it. Good and bad kind of temperature on whether or not it's a good idea that Dan Slott's doing it, in kind of in the, as far as what I've seen from the community. And so, we'll see. But the fact of the matter is, Chip Zdarsky's been writing this guy for a little bit. It's been pretty good. So if you want to keep up on your Fantastic Four, I don't know if this is going to tie in or if it's going to be killed off when they bring back other Fantastic Four. But yeah, who knows? Right now, 2-1 is pretty awesome. Next up, Venom 164. Venom Solo Series is going to get handed over to Donny Cates, who is a much better writer than whoever's writing this right now. I don't know who it is. I haven't been reading it, but I know that Donny Cates is really good, so I'm assuming he's going to be better. Maybe that's a little bit of a biased stance on considering the fact that I haven't read this, but I do really like the cover. It's a J. Scott Campbell cover. Anytime, I just heard someone else say this on YouTube, but I totally agree. Anytime that you see a cover where you're like, holy shit, that's really cool looking, someone else is going to be saying that same thing too, And so if you're looking at artists, especially at specific artists, that whenever they come out with something new, because that can be a little bit more predictable. If you notice that there's always uptick on, a series if Francesco Mattina does a variant for it. Well, hell, we'll start buying more Mattinas. By the way, buy more Mattinas. He's really good. So, yeah, just something that I've noticed, and that was one thing about J. Scott Campbell, too, is going to be at Denver Comic Con, so I figured, picked up this guy, liked the cover. Venom is coming to an end because they're handing it over to Donny Cates for Venom 1, so certainly pick up this guy. And, yeah, if you go to Comic Con, get J. Scott Campbell to sign it like I'm planning on doing. All right, so big issue from Marvel to premiere this week is Venomized, written by Cullen Bunn, who's an awesome writer, does a lot of really good action and horror stuff. They've been pumping this out for a while now with posters and ads and all sorts of stuff, and follow the money. I think if they're gonna put all this into promoting Venomized, make everything Venom, then hopefully it's a good story. I mean, this is maybe what I'm hoping for. I haven't cracked it open yet. But yeah, a lot of really cool covers for it. This is the cover A right here. But I did get a couple of these really, really nice variants. These are two in particular that I kind of want to look at them. These were my two favorites. This guy right here is Clayton Crane. Make sure I'm pointing to the right one. Yeah. This is Clayton Crane. Really, really like his covers. One of my favorite cover artists at the moment, right now. Maybe my favorite of these Venom variants from everybody this week. And then we also got Scotty Young over here. Does these kind of cartoony, I don't know, doodle-like kind of sketches. But yeah, really, really good artist. I don't think he sells particularly well right now, but I really like it, so I always try to put a couple of his covers into my collection right here. So that's it for Venomized. And for the big guy of the week, we've got Amazing Spider-Man. Going down swinging, $7.98. First appearance of Red Goblin officially, so says Marvel, so there's no more debate about it. First appearance of Red Goblin. They actually announced that right after they took the last, order for it a couple of weeks ago. And so, yeah, smart by them. There was a lot of people picking these up. Hopefully you showed up really early. Every store was packed buying those, and you can only do the one per customer was what a lot of places were saying. Get used to that while we've got all these special issues coming up, these landmark stuff. Yeah, you're going to be getting a lot of these one per customer. So find a couple of different shops. That's what we did. Anyways, this is the cover A. Alex Ross, I believe, is doing this. He's been doing a bunch of these Spider-Man. He's always doing the standard cover for it. So unless for some reason I read that wrong, yeah. Alex Ross on that. There's also a Virgin variant that was a little bit harder to find from him. This is Humberto Ramos. Really liking that guy right there. That's a pretty cool looking issue. Then we've got Javier Guerron right there. That's the Young Guns. Some of the Young Guns were good. I don't know. I like this one. But my favorite as far as all of the Spider-Man Venom ones go, I like this. Terry Dodson is, yeah, a personal favorite of mine. Did a really good Avengers No Surrender a couple of weeks ago. This is the Venom cover that they did for Spider-Man, and yeah, that's my favorite. That's my pick as far as if I was going to go in there and just get one of those variants, that's the one I would have picked up, was that Venom right there. All right. And, oh, you know what? I got one other Venom variant, too, that, like, I didn't even really hear about this one. But got surprised on Easter. I came home, and my wife had gotten this without my even knowing, and, like, it's awesome. I'm going to move this here. But, let's see. Now, let's see if I can. There we go. Special ordered, we got the Venom variant. This is Lockjaw, issue 1. Now, I've been looking for this for, well, actually I didn't know that I was looking for it. Apparently my wife had been looking for it. But, yeah, managed to track down the Venom variant right here. It's a little wrinkled, so I think if I press it out, I might be able to get a little bit of a better grade for it. But, yeah, on Easter I came home, this thing was waiting for me, so... Hey, you know what? Whatever the wifey wants, right? Isn't that what's important? But, there we go. Yeah, no joke. It was actually just waiting on Easter. Just chilling there. Look at that. More things to add to our collection. Now, back to the task at hand. More comics. Some True Believers coming out this week right here. Which one is this? I just grabbed it. Oh yeah, Venom Toxin. This is Rick Remender and Cullen Bunn. Already mentioned Cullen Bunn. If you haven't heard about Rick Remender, then you you need to read some more comics because he's really talented as well. These True Believers are only $1 a piece, and a lot of these ones are reselling for $2, $3, and so you might as well. These ones especially, if you can get these guys that are coming on now that have a perhaps a movie counterpart, if you will, they are always going to be selling pretty well. So, a couple of Avengers versus Thanoses. I think this might be a Thanos #1. I mean, it does say Thanos the first, so I don't know. I didn't read these back in the day, so I don't really know a whole lot about it. But that's another really cool part about these True Believers series is that, yeah, at $1 a piece, you can read some of these really cool issues. Now, since I was tooling around, I was... more and more intrigued, especially after looking at the list for everyone that's showing up at Comic-Con, with getting some of these blank variants. So I get some cool signatures, if I can find some artists that are drawing these guys, get some cool stuff, some cool memorabilia, cool things to put frames up on the wall, or cool things to turn. Like Charles Soule's going to be out there, so Daredevil 600 got that blank variant going. Yeah, con season is coming up, so got to start getting some of these blank variants. Find some cool stuff. Like, if you know that you're going to want to go and see Scott Snyder sign something, find Witches #1 or something like that. Find something really cool to have them sign, Put it up in a frame. Or find something that everyone's going to want to buy, and then, boom, now you got a signature on it. Get some of the money. All right, anyways, up for DC right now. Last couple of weeks, it's been funny. Last week was much heavier on DC with like Doomsday Clock and Dark Knight's Metal and stuff like that. And then the week before that, it was Thor, and so it was super like heavy Marvel, and there was more like Thanos and things. And now it's been rotated back to much more Marvel this week. Next week, I'm guessing it's going to be more DC. I don't know. It's funny how it kind of tends to trend that way. But yeah, back at it. DC New Age of Heroes. This is the 5th book to come out of Dark Knight's Metal. Haven't read it yet. I don't know how it directly ties into everything that's going on, but yeah, I've heard it being called the DC's Ghost Rider, about how all these New Age of Heroes are just copies off of DC or off of Marvel, excuse me. Yeah, so what? I mean, you've got really good artists paired up with really good writers. If they literally wanted to call it, like, Ghost Cruiser, who cares? It's still really good, So, yeah, Curse of the Brimstone, should be really fun. Issue number 1 for all of these new Age of Heroes have had that vertical gatefold. Got all of them so far, and so gotta keep it up. They have not done the vertical gatefold for the second printing, and so if these things go really quickly, like they seem to have been, as the new ones have been introduced, and some of the original ones are going for, you know, the second and third issues now. Yeah, catch up with popularity. So definitely get these first prints of these new Age of Heroes. Philip Tan, Justin Jordan, might as well. Really good stuff. Now for Batman, make sure I put these the right way. We've got issue number 44. Look at that. The Batman wedding. It's finally happening. Bruce Wayne, Selena Kyle. They're going to tie the knot. Wedded bliss. And what could possibly go wrong, right? I have not heard a whole lot of good stuff about the Tom King Batman run. I really liked everything they did with Superman, but the general consensus is that Batman was, well, honestly, so much better with Scott Snyder that it's kind of hard to read this stuff right now, you know, after Court of Owls and all the other good stuff that Snyder had done. Yeah, Tom King's just not really doing it for me. But either way, it's a seminal issue. He finally gets married. They actually did these 2 covers for it. It's not really an A and a B. It's just 2 covers. And it's really smart of DC because, I mean, honestly, why are you going to buy, like, just the Selena Kyle? Like, why buy just that one? Even with fucking dots, you're supposed to get all of it. It's one cohesive thing. So, smart by DC. I can't imagine anyone would just go and buy one of them. So, yeah, double your sales. I did hear that the Selena Kyle one did have a little bit of a lower print run. Don't know why, unless it's just like they figure it's a Batman comic, and so Batman is probably the one that's going to sell more. So, I don't know. Like, if you're like me, then if you bought the issue, you bought both of them. Next up, we have Deathstroke. He's taking on Batman, and this is another key issue because Batman's about to get Jerry Springered and find out that Damian Wayne is actually not his son. Find out who the real father is. So, yeah, I don't know why Deathstroke knows. I haven't been keeping up on this. Christopher Priest is a really good writer, so I probably should really read it. But, yeah, mostly I got it because of, for one, the big reveal that's happening. And also, Francesca Mattina is, again, doing so many good covers, and they're all so fantastic. Always picking up everything that he's doing. And, you know, Deathstroke cleaning his sword with Superman's bloody cape. It's awesome. I don't know what that has to do with the actual storyline. I thought he was fighting Batman on Superman, but yeah, I might just have to read it. Next up, this isn't new. I just picked this up while I was around. I think this is a first printing. It's Dead Man. It's written by Neil Adams. It's got this cool little raised, like, braille cover, I guess. I don't know what you would call it. But, yeah, they, I think, just released issue 5. Because it is a 6-issue. Yeah. It is a 6-issue run. It's wrapping up real quick if it didn't just wrap up. And so, yeah, I figured might as well pick up issue 1. It was kind of cool. Had a little feel to it. Next up, we got some independence going on. That was it for DC. Isola is up first. This is an issue 1. I believe it is Image, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I haven't read this one yet. There was a lot of good buzz about it. A little bit of a fantasy kind of series, but anytime you can pick up an issue 1, start a series from scratch. If anything, if you like it, great. You read it from the very beginning. If a lot of people like it, great. Sell them your 1 copy. It's the way it goes. Up for another number 1 issue, we have Analog. It's written by Jerry Dugan or Jerry Duggan. Gary Dugan. Gary Duggan. I'm not sure. Sometimes, you know, maybe I should just go on Wikipedia. Just YouTube it. I don't know. Anyways, I like making it up. Jerry Dugan is writing this. He's a really good writer. He did Deadpool and a bunch of other good stuff. He's writing some of the main X-Men titles right now. So he's pretty popular over at Marvel, but this time he's doing his own thing. This is analog, where in the future they have these message runners because they've gone from digital back to analog for some reason. So, yeah, should be really good. This main dude's got a briefcase, handcuffed to his hand. He's got a briefcase and a gun. And I keep really wanting the briefcase to start ringing, like Big Lebowski, like just an actual phone. That'd be awesome. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if it was a Deadpool comic that he was writing, that's what would be happening. But anyways, wouldn't be a week complete without a Jeff Lemire issue coming out. This is Dr. Stars and King of Lost Tomorrow, issue number 2. This is the B variant, a little bit of a lower run on this guy right here. I think it's a 1 in 10, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, really good. Dr. Star and King of Lost Tomorrows, part of the Black Hammer universe. I mentioned last time, Quantum Age just got announced, which is set 1,000 years in the future. This is the prequel of Black Hammer, so yeah, pick it all up. Jeff Lemire knows what he's doing. Let him keep writing until his head explodes. It's gonna happen. Hopefully not, because, you know, one of his biggest fans. Next up, speaking of writing a lot, we've got Frank Miller. He is doing a prelude to 300. Not is doing, has done. Xerxes and the fall of the House of Darius. Yeah, fall of the House of Darius and the rise of Alexander. This is prequel. This is about Xerxes' dad and going out seeking some revenge and stuff like that. Written and drawn by Frank Miller. I think this one is going to end up picking up a lot more steam if they keep writing it, because people love the movies. There's no doubt about that. And so Frank Miller seems to be a lot more active nowadays. I don't know if this has to do with anything else that he's got in the works right now, but he's always a name that's brought up whenever anyone's talking about, you know, what's the next Batman, you know, series that they're going to be doing and all this other nonsense. They talk about Frank Miller for pretty much everything. So, anyways, coming right on up is... This is something that I was really excited about a couple of weeks ago. And now I, yeah, not so excited about it. Spawn. This is issue 284. Spawn, I put on my poll list a couple of weeks ago because it was actually, yeah, a month ago for that last issue, 283. That's when Francesco Mattina started doing all these covers for it, and like I mentioned, he's a really, really popular writer or artist right now. All the variants he's doing are fantastic, and they look really, really good. I started picking up a bunch of his ones just because I liked it. Like I said before, it's something that I saw up on the wall, and I was like, that's really cool. Kept finding more about that artist because they kept coming out with more and more cool stuff, and kept getting more of it. Now, whenever I see that Mattina's going to be doing covers, I get all of them. Try and get all of them. Same thing that I did with Spawn right here. And then, for whatever reason, they decided to just flood every LCS with all of these. They ignored the final order cutoff, and they just dumped these into every store. I don't know if it was like they were thinking that there was going to be a whole lot more people ordering it, and then they didn't. And so they're like, well, never mind. Like, forget the final order. You can have as many as you want. So I think maybe they were bit off more than they could chew. That's the feeling that I get. No, but either way, what happened was these used to be really good sets when they're doing these A and B covers. You got the color and the black and white. Selling as a set pretty well, you know, $20-25 for 283. I was thinking we're going to keep on doing this all the way up through 300 when you know that 300 for Todd McFarlane is going to go fucking crazy. Now, it's a little ways from now. We're only on 284. But still, they're just going to keep amping up and amping up. This one in particular, why I think that they kind of got a little overzealous in thinking how many that they were going to get ordered up is because they brought Violator back. I don't know what happened to him before. I haven't been reading this current series of it. But yeah, gave him a new costume or something like that, some new powers. I forget what they're doing. But yeah, they brought Violator back. And then they gave everybody the chance to read it. So really cool. I hope that bodes well for the storyline, but it did not bode well for the spec market on that. Thank you, Todd McFarlane. But maybe as a little gift for ruining the spec on it, they gave us this little variant wraparound for it, which is, you know, it's cool. It's just another book for me to have to buy for something that has no resell on it. So yeah, that's the name of the game. That's what happens. I'm still going to keep it on my order. It's still going to be really good, and they're always still going to sell. Now, last indie of the week is IDW's Sonic the Hedgehog, issue number 1. I think maybe I'm still a little bit scorned from Power Rangers from last week and like the chaos that happened for a book that I had no interest in other than that everyone wanted it, and so then I also had to have it. Didn't get it still, by the way, but whatever. And then I also found one of these DuckTale, you know, diagram variants with Webby Vanderquack that's, you know, going for $20-25. And so I'm like, all right, well, apparently people like all this stuff. People want to know what Sonic the Hedgehog is doing. He's running fast, him and Tails. They collect rings, and then they jump on Dr. Robotnik. That's it. I don't know why we need a series of it, but it's an issue 1, so I had to get it. And so, yeah, I hope it does go the way of Power Rangers and DuckTales and stuff like that. I really hope it does, but whatever. Anyways, that was the last of the new books that I got for this week. I did pick up a couple other fun stuff. You know, you always gotta, you know, sift through the long boxes while you're tooling around on New Comic Book Day, and that's honestly, that's part of the fun. Not even part of the fun, that's a lot of the fun. I know what I'm gonna get when I show on up and I've got my fully detailed email with my pull list and everything like that, but when I'm scuffling through the 50-cent bins, I don't know what I'm gonna find, and yeah, I guess that's, I'm sure you guys probably all very familiar with that fun. What I got this last time, Civil War II, this is issue 0, the sketch variant for it. I never read through Civil War II. I'm familiar with the storyline. I mean, I could YouTube 1,000 videos about what happened with Civil War II. There's omnis for it and everything like that. So, yeah, this is from 2015, I believe. I'm not sure. Just really like the cover of it. You got Deadpool, Hawkeye, what's this? Cable, I think, maybe? Nick Fury? Cable Fury? I don't know. Guy with the dude and eye patch. That's terrible that I can't figure out which one that is, but yeah, I'm sure if it was in color, I would be able to figure it out. Yeah, this is a cool little sketch variant. It almost looks like it was done with like a charcoal pen or something like that. All right. Now, what else did we find? Yeah, Reanimator. I love this movie. Always been a big sucker for just campy horror films, and this was a very, very much in that vein. One of the creepier antagonists in my opinion, in horror movies right there too. So original H.P. Lovecraft story, done as a campy horror movie, redone by Dynamite in this issue 1, sold by Second and Charles, and yeah, I can't wait to read it. Second and Charles, for the love of God, put less stickers on it. It was in the 50-cent bin, and I peeled off like 50 cents worth of stickers. Stop it, Second and Charles. Okay? You don't have to put 18 50-cent stickers, and then another sticker, and then more stickers. This one has a green circle on it for no reason. Second and Charles, stop. Stop it. I could put a new polybag on it, but why am I going to put a new polybag on a 50-cent book? Stop. Let's do it. Anyways, what is this one next? Oh yeah, Kaptara. Chip Zdarsky I mentioned before. He's a fun writer. He's doing the Marvel 2-in-1 right now with Thing and Human Torch. Found this, and I actually have issues 1 through 4 on this. I found... Yeah, here we go. All the issues, 1 through 4. Chip Zdarsky, like I said, is a fun little writer, so I was like, oh, what is this? Let's check this out. Okay. I was like issue 1. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll read it. And then I didn't really get excited for it until I found this issue 3, and it says right here, Kaptara, Wizards just got a whole lot sexier. There you go. I don't know why they got sexier, but I guess you can really only go up from, like, Gandalf, right? I don't know. Anyways. So, last but not least, I always gotta find some fun book. It's, like, part of my favorite, like, not part of my favorite, factually my favorite part of the hunt. Finding the fun book. Last time it was Green Lantern Beneath the Planet of the Apes. This time I managed to find Pinocchio Vampire Slayer. The thing I like about this, it's by Top Cow. I don't know if Top Cow always does everything in black and white, but the inside of this book was noir is what they call it when they do the inside black and white. So yeah, it's a on the front part in the cover it says, like, you know, hey, this is Pinocchio, blah blah blah. This is what he does. When he lies, his nose grows. When his nose grows, he uses it as a stake to stab vampires in the heart. I was like, that's awesome. And then I was thinking, like, so does he have to, like, lie to, like, the vampire? Like, no, bro, I'm not gonna stab you. And then his nose grows and he's like, fuck you, stab him. Or is it like he just lies all the time and just, like, is constantly, like, breaking off his nose and, like, putting him in, like a quiver? So, like, when he sees a vampire, he stabs him with his old, like, noses. I don't know. Maybe I should read it. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it's probably, whatever I'm imagining in my head is probably better than what's actually in the story. So, yeah, there you go. Pinocchio Vampire Slayer. That was my shits and giggle book of the week. Thank you guys again. As always, this is Thrift Store Batman. We got a lot of more really good books the rest of April, and looking into May and June. There's so much good stuff coming out. So definitely, subscribe, like it, keep an eye on it. We're going to keep you updated on all the stuff that's coming on out and what everybody's talking about. And what everybody's talking about is also what everybody's buying. And that's what it's all about, right? If you're the one dude reading Power Rangers, you don't know that all of a sudden with the blind bag, you're not going to be able to get that that book that you've been the one person reading, because all of us just want to capitalize on whatever's going on. So, yeah, that's why you tune into shows like this, so we can tell you everything that's happening. All right. Thank you guys very much. We'll catch you next time.